Do you sometimes experience the fear of failure when it's maybe especially when it's crunch time and a really important moment in your match or your competition? Are you afraid of making mistakes in moments like that? Honestly, I experienced this plenty of times, especially when I was a young tennis player. I was struggling from time to time with my self-confidence, and that had to do also with my fear of failure or making mistakes. Now, 30, 40 years later, it's easy for me, of course, to sit here and say, well, you don't have to worry. It's no problem to make mistakes. But for me, it's important that you also understand why it's actually important that you make mistakes and that you should even make more mistakes. So in today's video, I want to share with you some thoughts on making mistakes, fear of failure, and why it is actually crucial that you make mistakes and that you learn from them and that you don't regard them as your enemies. Welcome to today's video. My name is Steven and I help athletes and ambitious people become mentally strong and successful. So why is it actually that I think mistakes are important on the way to success? Simply because we learn more from mistakes than when we do something really, really well. We tend to see the positive aspects then, but when we make mistakes, we need to also reflect on the things that didn't go that well. And that's where we start learning, and that's where the learning curve really goes up. If we reflect on them in a positive way. So it's not about blaming ourselves for making mistakes or telling ourselves we are not worth it, or we are a bad person, or we are a bad player, or whatever. It's not about that. It's about, okay, let's have a look at it without any emotions. What did I do wrong yesterday or in the competition today or in training? What is it that I need to improve? What is it that I need to do differently, and what I need to do better in the future? And that's it. So without any emotions, regard your mistakes as a gift and cherish them more from now on, because they will gonna show you where you can still improve and be better in the future. Many people, they struggle when it's about mistakes, because when they make a mistake, they have some bad feelings, negative feelings, negative thoughts on their mind. Because maybe someone else around them could think or say, well, that was really bad what you did there, and the way you behaved in this situation, and so on and so forth. So they don't want to be criticized. But this criticism can be very, very helpful for us in our development when we hear the right message. So how realistic is it actually that we don't make any mistakes? It's completely unrealistic. And for that, we can delete the word perfectionism in our mind, because it's simply an illusion. It's not possible that we don't make any mistakes. It makes sense to come as close as possible to 100% or perfectionism, but it's not realistic that we're going to reach it, and certainly not on a daily basis. So it's about accepting the challenge to get as close as possible to 100%, but without expecting that we're going to do this, the training session, or compete without producing any mistakes. So then when it comes to mistakes and reflecting on them, ask yourself, what is it that I have done well actually maybe in my competition yesterday? And what is it that I could have done better? And then focus on this topic the next day when you go to training again and when working on your skills. If you regard a mistake as a friend and not as an enemy, you will have the opportunity to learn much more from it for the future. They are part of the process, and that's what we're focusing on. We're not focusing on the final outcome. We're focusing on the process, because that's what you really have influence on. You don't have any influence on the outcome in the end, but you have influence on learning from your mistakes on a daily basis and then moving on and trying to improve on a daily basis. And also be aware of that as long as you're making mistakes, you still have something to improve. So you still have a gap to your, let's say, your peak performance. And that's great, because once you realize, ooh, actually today was more or less perfect, I done everything perfect, but still I lost, then you know maybe I have reached my personal peak. But try to avoid making the same mistakes numerous times. So learn from your mistakes, write them down, reflect on them also maybe together with your coach or with some close friends or family, and then move on, learn from them and try to improve the next day. That's all what it's about. Identify mistakes, work on them, improve. Full stop. In case you would like to know how you can handle your mistakes in a better manner in the future, feel free to get in touch with me through the TidyCal link in the video description. Leave me a comment. Tell me how you actually handle your mistakes in your sports or maybe in some other areas of your life. If you like the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.